The following program contains no firearms, no scenes of hunting, no violence, and no cruelty to animals. We do not promote hunting. All guns shown in this program are compressed by spring, gas piston, or PCP. Do not require a firearm license. The program is aimed to be informative, entertaining, and sportive.
So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be another review video of a newly launched Indian air rifle. So here you have it in the front of me, it's a break barrel air rifle recently launched by SDB, named as Sniper. Susanta Das and Bros SDB has launched this gun very recently with a nitro piston inside. So previously they have launched the SDB Zena, which I have already reviewed in my channel. Was very impressed with the gun, the trigger was an excellent one. The same kind of a trigger also follows in the same SDB Sniper. So accuracy was also very impressive. So this one is also kind of the same, and instead of a spring piston they have put in a nitro piston inside, which gives more added advantage. Like, you don't have to change the spring like between few less thousand shots, and you can keep the gun cocked for a couple of hours. Like, doesn't make any difference actually. Like, the power output will be the same, and considering a spring piston, the power output of a nitro piston will be very consistent, and I have tested it, chroned it, and found out to be very consistent, of course. So let's get to know more about this air rifle. Let's take a look at the air rifle at first, the look of the air rifle and the features of the air rifle first, and then let's move on to the accuracy testing. So taking a look at the air rifle, on the whole, first step, the rifle looks really awesome. It's a awesome looking air rifle. It's no par less than an imported air rifle. Beautiful stock with some really beautiful checkering on it. At first, when I just took the look at the air rifle, I just gave a message to SDB saying that this is one of their beautiful air rifle which they have made. I loved it a lot. So starting from the front, it has a plastic front sight which has some air vent kind of holes, and it is clean and clear visible. I was using the rifle with the open sights, and it was really good to shoot with open sights also. So with the plastic front sight and a plastic rear sight, which is a very hard plastic, doesn't seem to be of low quality, has the rear sight has adjustments for windage and elevation, and this rifle has a steel rifled 16.5 inch barrel, I hope so, and there is a breech o-ring. It's not a leather seal anymore, it's a o-ring kept on the breech, and the pellet seating on the breech is really good actually. When you consider the barrel, the pellet seating on the breech has to be considered a lot, because when you keep the pellet on the breech, it has to seal very perfectly so that the pellet doesn't get damaged when you close the barrel. So this one seals very perfectly, so it improves accuracy for sure. Behind that, we have the chamber where you have the nitro piston fitted inside. This is what powers the gun actually. Has a nitro piston inside which gives exactly 15 foot-pounds of energy very consistently, really consistent I would say. And on the chamber, on the receiver, we have 11mm dovetail at the rear with a stopper pin on it. So the 11mm dovetail has stopper pin on the rifle, so which helps me to fix the scope with the stopper pin on it, and I have secured the scope with the single piece mount. This is a Dyna lockdown mount with the stopper pin modified, and I have put up a UTG 3-12x44 scope on the top. I always prefer shockproof scopes on Springer or nitro piston air rifle. I always prefer these kind of scopes. The UTG does. And below that, we have the stock of this rifle. This is a beautiful stock. It's a hardwood, I think it's a beechwood stock finished in a walnut color. The stock extends all the way to the front, which makes it more beautiful. I really love the look of the rifle. And this checkering part, I think they have about two patterns of checkering, the traditional diamond cut checkering and this flowery kind of design checkering. I really went in for the flowery kind of design checkering because in my opinion this looks more beautiful than the traditional diamond cut checkering. So a really awesome looking stock for sure. Has a ventilated rubber pad at the back, and there is a plastic trigger guard on the stock actually. The trigger guard, since being plastic, you don't have to think that it is a weak or a cheap one. It is really hard. I have accidentally hit onto a table when I was using it at home, but nothing happened actually. It's really good. and inside that you have a safety and a trigger. This comes with a manual safety. So me personally, I'm not a big fan of automatic safety air rifles. Actually, I have met this a lot of times with Zena. Actually, I just load up the air rifle, forget the safety, and just take aim at the target a lot of times and then pull the trigger. The shot doesn't go off, the safety will be on. So I forgot to turn off the safety. So this one has a manual safety, so I can use it whenever I want it. So this safety is like a push and pull kind of a model. Like you push it to the front, the safety is off, and push it to the back near the trigger, it locks the trigger and the sear, so the safety is on, the rifle doesn't fire. So behind the safety there is a trigger, match grade trigger I would say. So comes really fine and crisp tune from the factory. I didn't do anything to the trigger, just came in from the factory. I just took the first shot. I was so comfortable with the trigger, I left it that way. Like I would request you all not to fiddle up with the settings of the trigger. So this trigger comes perfectly tuned from the factory, has a clean first stage, very nice first stage, stops a very definite stop, and then brakes very clean and crisp. The braking point of the trigger, you can feel it really well. It brakes really crisp, so making it like important element for the shooters to gain more accuracy. I would say like this is a perfect looking air rifle made in India after a very long time. I can say that for sure, like a beautiful looking air rifle. So let's get into the accuracy testing part of this air rifle. So for the accuracy testing part, I'm going to try like different varieties of pellets. I got this air rifle for about maybe 2 months back or more than 2 months back. I have been using this air rifle for all the 2 months, finding out what all the things I can find out of this air rifle. I have tested different varieties of pellets. This rifle seems to accept lot of pellets, like Indian made, imported made. Like I've tested like 20-25 varieties of pellets. They all seem to perform. Some of them seems to perform very well in this rifle, so I can't use all of them. So I have bought couple of tins over here. Let's see what all we have. I got the JSB 8.4 grain pellets. This is kind of a pellet which never fails to fly accurate in any of the air rifles. So this works really awesome. So I got JSB 8.4, JSB 10.34s, and I got the JSB Express Diablo 7.8 grain pellets. Lightweight. When there is no wind, you can use this pellet for sure. And I have got the flatheads, the JSB Match Diablos heavy 8.26 grains, and I have the RWS R10 match pellets actually. So this also performs very well, but under very short ranges, not too very long ranges. So I'll just try like 3 or 4 pellets out of this. We'll find out which is going to be more accurate, and then let's take that pellet and move on to the longer ranges. So let's get into the shooting part now. So let's start the accuracy testing of this rifle. So I have set up the target exactly at 25 yards from the muzzle of the gun. I have ranged the target to be exactly 25, and the first pellet which I am going to try is JSB 8.4 pellets, which I have zeroed the rifle at. So other pellets I have not zeroed at 25, but still I can see how the grouping is going to be. So let's try it with the 8.4 at first. So targets at 25, the Q shot, shoot and see target kept at 25 yards. Let's give it a try. I'm going to take 5 shots and let's see the group size of it. Let's start. Right. And this seems to be a slightly windy day today. I don't know like how the groups are going to be at long ranges. Let's see. Right, 3 shots seems to be in the same hole. On the bullseye. Okay. Seems to have all the shots on the same place almost. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I have taken 6 shots instead of 5. No worries, like group seems to be very small. Let's take a close-up look and continue with the other pellets. The trusty JSP 10.34s, a slightly heavier pellet, but flies at a decent speed on this one. So let's give it a try. Seems to be right on the mark. All the way. Seems to group very well. See. Okay, so guys, the JSP 10.34, the initial couple of shots were off the target and later now starts to group really close. I think 5 shots were very close and 2 shots are little off. Maybe I think it's because the barrel is not seasoned. Usually when you switch from pellets to pellets, it's always good to take 3 or 4 shots off the target and do not consider the shots, and then after the 3 or 5 shots, like the group starts to be better. I think the same phenomena has happened over here. Let's take the target up close and see. Next pellet is the JSB 7.87 Express Diablos. Let's give it a try. Not so close as the 8.4s, but still performing well. I don't know, like the 7.8 grains, it's a little bit windy over here. I don't know if it is because of the wind, but still a decent group for sure. Let's go on to the next pellet. That's heavy, so give it a try. Let's see how it performs, because like flatheads are not good for long ranges. They are good just up to like 25 or 30 yards. I'm just gonna give it a try. Let's see how it goes. So considering a flathead pellets, it's not zeroed actually. The rifle is not zeroed to flathead. So what happens is like it's one build out to the bottom and one build out to the right, looking through the scope. But the group is really well. The group has been a really decent group for sure. The 25 yards group is done. I have set up the target exactly at 50 yards. Okay, 50 yards from the muzzle of the gun. And I'm going to try 2 pellets, the JSP 8.4 grains and the JSB 10.34 grains. And it started to be a bit windy over here. The wind is from the right to the left a little bit. I think there will be a bit of movement in the group actually. but 50 yards is going to be a long range for a brake barrel rifle in my opinion. So let's not waste time, let's take the group and see how the gun is going to perform at 50 yards. JSB 8.4s at 50 yards. Okay, the parallax is right. So I'm gonna hold 1 mil dot of drop at 50. Let's see how much is gonna drop. Obviously almost 1 mil dot of drop, but moves a little bit to the left actually because of the wind. Still moving. When the wind is off, the shots are moving to the right, and when there is a bit of wind, the shots are moving to the left actually. Right now seems to be closer. Three, four. Right, guys. Let's consider this as the last shot of the group. Right. Seems to be a decent group at 50 yards, considering the range as 50 yards for a brake barrel rifle. Let's take the target up close and see what the results are and move on to the JSP 10.34s. The 8.4s did a decent job. Going to try the 10.34 JSPs. Let's give it a try. They are going to drop 1 mil dot for sure, and I hope the 10.34 will stay on the line because they will not move a lot for the wind. Wow, the wind is picking up really heavy. The wind is just switching on and off, making shooting a little difficult. Now on the mark. Okay. So As in the 25 yards, actually the first two shots were off the target, and now shots seems to be really close to each other. Let's consider the shots 3 and 4 and start grouping. Yeah, this seems to be a good group. See, now you can see all the shots on the same place now. Alright guys, seems to be a really good group. I forgot the number of shots I have taken. I left the count off. I'm going to take 1 or 2 more shots and close the group off. I pulled the shot. I know I just put the shot wrong. There you go. Let's take this as the last shot of the day. Right, pretty good group at 50 yards. Let's take all the targets up close and see how the results are. So the accuracy testing is done actually. As you all saw, we did the accuracy testing at 25 yards and 50 yards. Now I am back to my home actually. Like, I couldn't continue the video over there. It got windy and it was really hot over there, and I had some time to catch up, so I just came back from farm, and the video was taken like 2 days back, and it's like 2 days in the future now. So I have all the results here with me, and I have the SDB sniper in my hands right now. So now let's see the results of the 25 yards group. Actually, we tested around 4 varieties of pellets, and I have all the results here with me. So the first pellets we tried were the JSB 8.4 grains. I think it's visible for you. So I'll just put up a close-up of the group over here and the measurement of the group. I haven't measured the group size, so it looks to be like about less than an inch for sure, but I think touching half inch, I hope so. Pretty decent group, I would say. Okay, this is a very decent group. And the second group which we shot, like the JSP 10.34s, see, like the first two shots of the JSP 10.34s moved a little bit off, and then the group started to group very nice. Like I think it's about 5 shots, I think 5 shots into the same single hole actually. If you leave off these 2 shots, it's almost like 1/4 inch group, I would say. It's very small. I think the first 2 shots was the same with the 50 yard. So I think it takes about 2 shots or 3 shots, minimum 2 to 3 shots, like to get the barrel season for that pellet. So I think leaving out those 2 shots, it's really nice. And even after considering those 2 shots, the first 2 shots, like I would say it is less than an inch for sure. So, and the third pellet, it's a JSB Express Diablo 7.87 grains. They did not group so well, just like the 8.4s or the 10.34s. Did a decent job. Must be an inch group for sure. This one, I think I pulled it off. Other than that, like it's about an inch group. Including that, it would be somewhere around 1.1 inch or something. I hope so. Like I'll check it. It was a windy day, and these pellets, these 7.87 grains, doesn't perform so well on even a slight windy condition actually. So okay, can consider it, but I had to test it even at a less windy day for sure. So maybe it may perform better, because this one performs very well in almost all the air rifles, as from my experience I would say. So the last, actually we took one flathead pellets. It was not zeroed. The rifle was zeroed for the 8.4s and the 10.34s, not the flatheads. So the point of impact was very much to the bottom actually, bottom right, but still see the size of the group, like it should be about half-inch group at 25 yards. The flatheads are performing really well at short ranges, but when you push them the limit, actually when you push it away to 50 yards, they don't perform so well, just like how they do at 25 yards. Flatheads are for short ranges, like I would say like 30 yards max. Just go and go with flathead pellets, and JSB 8.4 grain heavy flatheads did really a good job. I'll put out the measurements of the group also. So the 25 yards, considering the 25 yards group of the SDB sniper, I would say like this particular gun has performed really well. This gun paired up with the UTG 3-12x44 scope like did a really good job at 25 yards. So then we pushed the limit to 50 yards. Okay, during the 50 yard group, okay, the wind picked up a lot actually. It was getting windy, much windy than it was when I was shooting the 25 yard group, but it tried to take two groups using the JSP 8.4 grains and the 10.34 grains. As we all know, the 8.4 grains are tend to move in the wind a lot actually. So this is a group at 50 yards, approximately like about 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches, I hope so. Like I'll put up the measurements of the group, and here is the 10.34 groups. Okay, I would say like the first two shots, the one over here and the one over the last, these are the first two shots, like went way to the left and one way to the right. I think the same problem again, the barrel getting seasoned. And after that, after those shots, the groups really started to shrink a lot actually. So I would personally say like we can consider this group. Okay, this one was the shot which I pulled off, the one which is off from the group actually. I know I pulled the shot, like I did not pull the trigger at the right time, but even after considering that, it will be a small group. So I will put up measurements of two groups actually, one including the shot and one excluding the shot which I pulled it off. These are 50 yards group with the SDB sniper, I mean like a break barrel rifle, shooting like moderate weight pellets, like 8.4s or lightweight pellets and 10.34 moderate weight pellets on 50 yards. Like 50 yards is a maximum range for an break barrel, I would say, to test out groupings. They can reach up to 70 yards or 80 yards for plinking purposes, but you can't try groups at that range. So 50 yard would be the maximum range, and at a maximum range we are getting a group of about 1 or 1.25, maybe a max of 1.5 inches. I would take it any day, and that too on a windy day. You might have seen the wind howling over there, like it was windy. So considering the windy day, this result is always acceptable from my side. So here we come to the end of the video actually about the SDB sniper air rifle. The SDB sniper Nitro Piston is not only looking amazing air rifle, like the rifle really looks amazing. I love the look of the rifle. When I just gave this rifle to some of my friends, which I did not mention, like it's an Indian air rifle, or I did not mention the name of this air rifle, like they were all convinced that this is an imported air rifle, something like a Dyna or some kind of a made in Germany air rifle kind of thing. Like moreover, they were all convinced that this is some kind of a Weirag air rifle. So like the look is nothing far less than an imported air rifle for sure. They have made a beautiful job of making this air rifle. I love this air rifle, and looking at the performance and the look of this air rifle, like I'm just going to keep this one in my collection for sure. This is going to be there in my collection, like in my own personal collection. This air rifle will take a place for sure. And the performance of the air rifle was also promising. Like at 25 yards you can expect a group of about like half inch, maybe a quarter inch group at 25 yards is also possible, and at 50 yards less than 1 inch groups, like which is very decent and which is more than enough for a break barrel rifle. That is very much capable with this rifle. You can even bring it very closer on lesser windy days and when you practice it very well. So hope I have delivered all the messages you were looking for to see about this gun in this video. in the right way possible. So I think I'm doing my part in the right way. So please share your thoughts about the videos in the comment section and things I had to look for, I had to change, or I had to update or improvise in the next videos. Like I'll read your comments, reply for them for sure, and I'll try to work on them on the next video. So next week or the week passing by, like I'll just put up a video for the new side shot camera mount which you all have been looking for. I have been getting a lot of inquiries about that side shot camera mount, so I'm just putting a video specifically for that. So look for that. Like I have a couple of products coming up. We'll post it in the coming weeks for sure. Very short videos of the products for sure. If you are really interested in this videos or this kind of contents which I'm providing for you, like please consider like subscribing my channel or just liking up this video, like which will help me improving my channel more to bring you more videos to you. Okay, so the YouTube algorithm works, so that's the reason. So see you soon in the next video. Like until then, like take care, bye bye.